Hello everybody, this is Astocky here, and I am playing Kerbal Space Program. I am creating a new game, and the reason for that is I have added a couple of extra mods. Now the first thing that I have added is remote tech. The reason is I was looking at the campaign. I even did just a little trial run of what I thought it would be like for a first episode, and I will probably upload the episode that I recorded as a bit of a bloopers episode next time, because like it went bad. Like imagine bad, then imagine me docking, which is worse than bad, and then imagine this, which was, yeah, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud at all. I made really simple things look really hard by trying to be too stingy. So what I've decided this time is I'm going to go for something that's a little bit more in the realistic sort of I guess idea for things. And the way this is going to work is I've got remote tech installed, which for those of you who don't know basically means you need line of sight from a control center to a probe or anything like that in order for you to actually tell probes what to do. And because you then need line of sight to them, you also have the speed of light delays, which means if you send probes further and further from Kerbal, you will end up with delays in how they operate, which can add for some fun and unique challenges. I have also added another mod, which hopefully this will work now. There we go. Heat shields. Now the reason you need heat shields is because I've added the deadly reentry mod. So I thought I would start. There we go. Stick a heat shield on that. And oh, sorry. Let's go for an. Nah, we don't need an SAS module. We need a Mech Jeb. And then we need a parachute. There we go. What is that? Quantum field transfer system. Don't need those. Why are you not sticking? So you can stick there, but not if I put the re-entry shield on. Maybe that's what I need to do. Ah, there we go. You need to have a little bit of a gap between them for it to work. You know, you learn these kind of things. So here we have 2600 delta V, not quite enough. And because overkill is fun, let's decoupler. Beautiful. Now we will stick an engine on the bottom of this thing, and hopefully, fingers crossed. Why can't I not find the engines? There we go. How are we doing? Looks like for some reason it's not showing the delta V correctly for stage 0. Maybe it's because it needs to be stage 1. There we go. Let's just spread everything out nicely. So we got stage 4 is going to give me 1100. The next one's going to give me that, which will take me up to about 3700. And that's not quite enough. So we want structural. Just the most simple of designs here. Aerodynamic. No, we want propulsion. The final page. Let's whack 2 giant propulsive boosters on. Aerodynamic. Stick little end caps on them to make them more better. And now let's check how this goes. Now I guess the reason why I'm doing this little bit of a demo like this is because I am not entirely sure how well this is going to work. And I'd be interested to know what you guys think as to whether you guys like this or not. Mech Jeb, we want Ascent Autopilot. Engage, awaiting liftoff. Jebediah, go! So you can see we're accelerating nicely, no problems yet. Got those solid rocket boosters really doing their thing. Now, whoa. Something did not go well then. Let's restart the flight and see what happened. I think that might have been a re-entry heating issue. I think. But let's check again and see what happens. I didn't see like heat bars coming up saying that things were overheating. That shouldn't have happened anyway because it wasn't really going fast enough. Ah, there we go. Yep. We overheated. Which is really weird because with the Ferram Aerospace mod, it shouldn't be overheating like that. So it could be that there's not 100% compatibility between the two mods. What I'll do is I'll take auto throttle off and I'll control that myself while we climb, and then we'll deal with it a bit later. Whoops, forgot even to put Mech Jeb on. So we're still accelerating quite quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ditch these solid rockets. Don't overheat, stop it. Yep, okay. Now, I don't think that should have overheated. I was only doing Mach 1.5. So I might have to have a bit of a think about how I've done this. Probably going to have to go for something along these lines with a double and then some extra goodness there. Aerodynamic, yeah, we'll stick some of those on. A little bit of fuel into the center. I might have to do it like this, so let's throw that down to there. See if this works any better. Clearly the re-entry heating mod is working, but probably not working the way I'm thinking that it should, because it keeps killing me and that's not cool. So let's try again. Full throttle. Sometimes I love this game so much. What went wrong then? Okay. Clearly that shouldn't have happened that way. So let's try again. Much better. Now what should happen is it should start reducing the thrust pretty quickly once we start to get too fast. Okay, looking good. It's looking like a good ascent profile here. Definitely looking better than the previous profiles. And I got very close to some things dying, but nothing died. So that's good as well. Okay, sorry about that. And back to resuming flight, getting ourselves into orbit. Should have absolutely plenty of fuel for this. Yeah, I mean, we still got heaps of fuel left in this first tank. Oh, maybe not. gone for a really low orbital altitude here. Maybe if we up that to 100. Yeah, that should be a lot higher. Oh, haha, staging. Forgot something. $60. Yeah, I mean, this engine's got so much thrust, it's not going to have any problems at all putting it into orbit. Really zipping up to a good speed now. So we'll hook ourselves around and hopefully put ourselves into a nice 100 by 100 circular orbit, travelling at Mach 7. Hope you're auto warping. Why aren't you auto warping? Ah, not out of the atmosphere yet. Okay. There we go. Out of the atmosphere, auto warping now. Preparing to circularize the orbit. Now where's our orbital information? Because very soon we're going to turn off a bunch of these other ones because they're not really going to matter. Maybe that one will. Wow, okay. So there we go, we are at a beautiful 100 by 100 orbit. So we'll turn off the Ascent Autopilot because it's not going to do us any good anymore. And we will now take advantage of our smartass. And the way we would do that is we will try and set ourselves up for a little bit of a re-entry burn. And I'm going to do it on the sunny side because that just seems like the best way to do it. Add maneuver, and I think we want to go for like a no, let's go for a minus 100. So that's going to give us an estimated periapsis of like less than 0. 50. What's that going to give us? Down to about 40. I think that's what we want because that'll put us in the upper atmosphere. And then hopefully we can press escape and nope. Nope, nope, stop it, no. So now we can press O and bring that back up if we want. There we go, double click to get rid of it. See, I knew there's always a thing. Everything has a thing. So we'll turn on, how long we got to the burn? 19 minutes, 20 minutes. Let's just rip ourselves around. I want to see if I can do this re-entry. Now I'm going for what I think is a fairly shallow re-entry, down to 40 kilometers. Could be a little bit too steep though. I honestly have no idea. I'm so new to this. Unfortunately, I think Kerbals are going to die. There's nothing I can do about that because I'm not a competent pilot. But we can click on Node, and Mech Jeb is using up all of its charge, which is not cool. Hopefully its charge will last another 60 seconds. We only need a 1 second burn here, so this is going to be like super quick. So I'm going to do it slow time. Doing it nice and slow time. We've got so much fuel left. And 0.1. I'm going to turn that off and put on kill rotation, put it on retrograde, and then let's check this thing out. So periapsis down to 40 kilometers. What I want to see is what this apoapsis starts to do once I hit the atmosphere. So we're going to burn ourselves down. So you can see the steering error is drifting because once you put it on accelerated time, Mech Jeb stops working. We actually need to, I think, give it a little bit of thrust to start to produce some charge. That's probably not that good. I've now just made what was a fairly shallow re-entry into a really steep one just to get Mech Jeb powered. So I'm probably going to die a horrible, horrible death. Let's turn it off. Nope, it's still using power. And Mech Jeb is now powerless. No good way to do this, unfortunately. Yeah, whatever. 2000, so you can see I am accelerating. So what we want to do is we want to go to retrograde. And then now that we're there, we want to kind of just slowly hold this burn on. Just to stop us from accelerating, basically. Now I do have a heat shield on, so hopefully that will help with some of this stuff. But I'm starting to hit the thicker atmosphere and coming in fairly fast still. So I'm going to up the boost a bit to try and kill some more speed. Really still slowing myself down nicely, hitting the thicker atmosphere now. Okay, we've run out of fuel now, so whoa. Wrong key. Okay, Kerbins don't want to die. Oh, there you go, I didn't even have to use my heat shield at all. Do I have the option to... Ah man, this has potentially ended up boring. Yep, boring. Okay. Not what I was planning at all. Okay, so let's end the flight. Let's now do this same thing again. But this time, let's see how crazy it can be. I'm going to go and throttle up. Yeah, that worked badly. Whatever. Who cares? Plenty of thrust. Yep. Kerbins is gonna die. Sorry, Jebediah. I cannot do that to you. You are way too good for that. Man, that was some really bad design. What kind of person puts that in that spot? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Throttle back down. Let's just hold that rotation just there, thank you. Keep accelerating nice and slow. Don't want to do anything too fast, too rash. Don't want to go killing myself. Staging, throttling up. Smartass, we'll turn the smartass off. And then we're just going to pitch over. Whoop. Come on. Kill that rotation. Okay. There we go. Kill that rotation. So what are we looking at now? Apoapsis about 33 kilometers. Let's try and... Oop, kill rotation. Sorry, wrong button. So this is definitely working better. Better than it was last time. I did lose my main engines pretty early on though, so I'm probably not going to have as much fuel, but still should have enough. Coming into the thinner part of the atmosphere anyway now, so that shouldn't be too bad. Really kicking some acceleration in now. What's that? 1, 2, about 3 Gs of acceleration. $77, $78, $79, $80. Start backing the throttle off. Keep it on prograde now. Whoop. So you can see it's slowly using up charge, which is just what Mech Jeb does. But now let's go for some gratuitous re-entry effects. Gonna burn some fuel, crazy style, boost myself up to about 300 kilometers, I think. There we go. Time to apoapsis, counting down very quickly. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to go prograde. We want to boost until our periapsis is about 40 or so, which shouldn't take very long. "23, 22. I'm thinking it's only going to take just the tiniest little hint to boost here, and we're going to be there. There we go, 40 kilometers. 50, now I'm more confident. Okay, so let's go retrograde on it. And let's dump the engine stage. Turn this off. Now let's drift ourselves around and see how we go. We're on our way back down. We are coming down very, very fast. The idea is that we're just going to skim loosely through the atmosphere and just kind of bleed off all this apoapsis speed and then hopefully skip back out into orbit without dying. That's the plan. Coming down, coming down, coming down. Down to about 70, so we're just entering the atmosphere now. We're going to turn retrograde and see if this heat shield earns its money. Because we're coming in so flat, fingers crossed, we're going to kind of just go and just bleed off some of this speed. There we go, look, you can see it's coming down now. It's coming down quite fast because we're slowing down. Orbital speed's still going up, but we are dropping the apoapsis off, and we're also dropping the periapsis off by slowing down. And there has not yet been a, oh my goodness, we're heating up indication, which is a good thing, I guess. I'll speed it up a little. So you can see we're down to 309 now. Hoping because we're travelling almost flat through the atmosphere. Yeah, that's fine. So this is still slowly dropping. We're catching it though, which is a bit unfortunate. So I was hoping to really punch a bit deeper into the atmosphere because we haven't bled off anywhere near enough yet. See, this is coming down very fast now, but our vertical velocity is also starting to rise, which means I think we're going once around. I mean, it's slowing down when it should be speeding up, which is good. This is dropping, but the atmosphere is starting to thin back out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Turns out the Mech Jeb Smart Assist isn't that smart once you start going very fast. So you can see this thing here is still dropping quite quickly even though that's going up. Seems to work at about 3 times, which is good. Jebediah is loving life right now. But yeah, I mean, while this is dropping, we still haven't bled off enough speed yet. We're going to be hitting the top of the thin part of the atmosphere soon. So time to apoapsis is really dropping. We dropped it from 300 down to 230, and this one here is still dropping as well. So I mean, we're that was a tad shallow, I think is probably the fair way of saying it. And because I really boosted myself up fairly high, that wasn't that good. No, a little bit of crazy there. Yeah, I think I'm going to struggle. there is most certainly going to be a once around. But the upside, nobody died. Nobody died yet, and he just has to go once back around. So, all things considered, as far as the Kerbal Space Program goes, this has been fairly successful. Let's turn you off for a second. Do you work SAS? Yeah, you do. Nice. So we'll just do our little once around, and then we'll come back down and see how we go the second time. This is quite a boring re-entry, and in fact I'm now out of power, so this probably won't even work. That's why we have Kerbins. Okay, we're on our way back down now. Down to about 100 kilometers, 80 kilometers, 70 kilometers. There we go, we've hit the atmosphere. Let's once again turn retrograde. And let's see what we drop it down to this time through. See, we can see we're diving a lot deeper into the atmosphere this time. Because I think, no, it was about 50 I started at last time, so we've only really lost half a kilometer. But again, this is really diving down. Oh, no, we only want times 3. I think we could be going for a third time around. Because I guess the different colours up here, hopefully you can see my mouse cursor now, the different colours up here in the atmosphere bar show how thick the atmosphere is. So we're still only in the thin part at the moment. This is like the basically no atmosphere, this is the thin part. Then you get into the thicker part. You kind of almost need to dive down into the thicker part, you know, down to around the 40 kilometer mark. So what I'm really doing now is kind of skipping, but each time I skip back up, you can see that I'm clearly skipping a lot lower. And this is racing down now. We're basically traveling horizontal through the atmosphere now, starting to slowly rise back up. But we've dropped, I guess by the time we pop back out, we'll have dropped 100 kilometers off this time around. Feeling pretty good about this. What's this mission been, an hour so far? That's not too bad. And Jebediah is just loving this. What's this, the second time around the planet, third time around the planet? We'll look at that. I think definitely next time we're going to be dropping down to the point where we're not making it back up out of the atmosphere. Come on, wow. I was kind of hoping this episode to be a little bit shorter, but I haven't shown anyone dying from re-entry miscalculations yet, so this is I think probably about as successful as I'm going to get with re-entrying. Not even sure that makes sense. What I'm looking forward to though is the challenge of what it's like when I try and bring someone home from the moon. That I think is going to be fun. And Juna, stuff like, you know, entering into Juna's atmosphere, you know, doing some aerobraking and hopefully not dying. There we are, down to 100. So this time we're going to be much, much quicker around the planet. Come on. In fact, you know, we're barely going to get it out of the atmosphere. Let's just turn you off for now. So I can, oh no, falls as fast as I can warp. Whoa. Bouncing like crazy. Okay, now we're out of the atmosphere. And accelerate. And we are up. And we are back down. Come on, this time, it's definitely going to be this time. Retrograde. Let's try and do something spectacular in the dark. Come on. Wow. Boring video, nothing happening. Okay, now we're in the atmosphere. Now we're in the atmosphere, we're slowing down. We need to get this back below 70 and that means we're not coming back out. I mean, this is already dropping off, which means we're coming in a fair bit steeper this time. Rotate. Probably shouldn't have done that. That's messed things up. I just want up to be up. There we go. Up's now up. That's good. Yeah, coming in. Come on! I want to just do this re-entry and get it over and done with. So you can see up here our Mach number is still accelerating, but our apoapsis is dropping, so that's good. Yeah, it seems like somewhere around about 40 might be the magic number, the way you actually start to bleed off enough speed. But again, you know, you don't want to die, and dying is absolutely totally possible with the way this game works if you mess things up. So we are still accelerating here, which means we're not slowing down as fast as I would like. Once this starts to slow down, that's when we'll really start bleeding the energy off. There we go. So now we're in the thick of it, and this is really dropping. So yeah, dropping. Oh wow, looks like we're going to be re-entering on the sunrise. So yeah, down to the low 70s, so we're not coming back out of the atmosphere this time. This is, yeah, look how quickly this is dropping down now. That means we are not too far away from getting some re-entry effects and potentially the death of Jebediah. Yeah, periapsis is burying itself in the planet now. What you want to do is you want to try and slow down as much as possible in this thick part of the atmosphere. Ideally, you know, you want to try and get down to below about 1,000 before you start to hit the thicker part. It's kind of challenging though. You end up with this. It's a fairly narrow re-entry cone that's actually a safe re-entry cone. Yeah, this isn't helping me at all. You can see now I'm almost to the point where I'm going to start definitely going down. We've switched over to surface velocity now. Haven't quite hit the thick part yet. There you go, now we've hit the thicker part. Down to 1700, so there's a chance we might not see too much in terms of re-entry effect, which would be brilliant. Okay, got to start to slow things down now. We're starting to get the wibble wobbles. Here we go. Just a little tinge of orange re-entry effects as the atmosphere is thickening up and we're slowing down. Come on, landing. I think, except for the twice around, I think of the very first time I had to just kind of put myself down to 40-ish. But I guess what I've just shown is that it is perfectly possible to not have everything go horribly wrong when you're re-entering. And we're now down below 600 meters per second, so popping a chute is perfectly safe. And where are we going to end up? What's that? I have no idea. Oh, that's actually the spaceport just there. So we've ended up not too far away from the spaceport. Well, at least we've ended up on the same continent as the spaceport. So I think, you know, all in all, this has been a reasonably successful mission. We got Jebediah smiling like a crazy man. We have our rocket flying down at high speed. Mech Jeb sitting there going beep boop beep boop beep boop beep like only a mechanical thingy can. Beautiful. We have successfully brought our Kerbal. Look at that. Oh yeah, loving life. Look at this thing here, it is just going nuts. In fact, it's going so nuts it thinks I have 2 parachutes. Here we go, here we go, here we go. And safe splashdown. Way to go, Jebediah, saviour of the world. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, I'm now not going to be doing the campaign where I track money. What I am instead going to be doing is completing all the missions in the campaign and hopefully completing them all with Reentry heating on and also with the space probe setup. In fact, I've probably got just a minute more I can show you now how this space probe thingy works. Basically, you have your probe and you stick a giant fuel tank on the bottom of it and an engine and an engine. And then we'll probably do structure, decoupler, and let's throw another engine on the bottom. No, that's jet fuel. Just a regular smaller fuel tank. Come on. Basically, here we go. We are currently out of contact. So there are no satellites in space. So because there are no satellites in space, that means we don't have the ability to actually control anything. So because we have no ability to control, we can't actually launch a probe. So what we would have to do is we would have to have a ship that's already in orbit that has the remote command module or the remote command Mark II attached to it, and it has to have at least 3 Kerbals in it. So we could use one of these pods with one of these stuck on the front of it, and then we could sit that in orbit, and as long as this probe could see line of sight to that particular command ship, we would then be able to fly the probe. So that's basically how the remote tech works, and I think that's going to be really cool because I plan on launching like satellites to Moon and satellites to Minimus, and it means I'm going to have to set up like a bit of a network around Kerbin to link up so that you can get line of sight to them at all times so that I can actually use them, and I think that's going to be heaps of fun. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. I know it's a bit different than I had originally promised for the campaign, but I think there's definitely going to be a lot more explosions and there's going to be a whole lot of things go wrong, which I think should make for good viewing for you guys. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be in about a week and a bit's time. So again, thanks for your support. Astocky out.